Hello, welcome to today's video. My name is Toll Warden, and I do, indie game stuff. He realized something. I'm not a hater. I'm a racist. Room. I eat people and I enjoy it. I eat dark and goodbye. And I love Bo Path of the Teal Lotus. I'm a big fan of the game, and every day I am reminded more people haven't experienced this game, which is why I'm making this video, to bring attention to the game. Now, I will say if you're an old fan, you know I have a weird relationship with this game, and a very strange history. Today I have decided that, due to this topic, I finally am going to talk to you guys about a problem I personally have had in general that has only manifested on this channel a handful of times, but has recently become more noticeable and more of a problem. If you're new here or just got here for the game, that's okay. I'll put a timestamp right here before I talk about it, and I'll actually have 5 seconds before I talk about it, and in the pinned comment, you can actually click on my timestamp that I put on in the comment, in the pinned comment. You can skip to the timestamp of when I'm done talking about this stupid shit. And before you worry about it, no, it's not actually about Bo, it's about more of me thing. So if you don't want to hear that, that's fine. Totally okay. Don't blame you. If you're just here for Bo, you can skip to that. So if you're like Squid Shock or Moi, that's okay. The reason why I'm bringing them up in particular is because I have them added in the comments, and there's reasons for that. We're going to get into that later. You see, I have a problem that has led me into my own spirals time and time again, even with Bo on this channel, even in the past. See, even with my relationships with friends and family, both online and offline, I am a terrible person. See, the problem is me. I have an issue with pushing people away and dismissing them and everything they work on, where if something bothers me enough, I'll just burn just about every bridge I have with said person. I am incredibly naive, far too proud for my own good, and I am just deeply conflicted. See, on one hand, I am incredibly devoted to my line of thinking, to the point I disregard people's feelings about something just because I believe something is right, and on the other hand, I miss the friends I ruined bridges with, and I never really think about what I'm doing, and most of the time I forget about it until much later when I realize that I miss what was cut off from my life. It's something I have wanted to admit and to work on for a long time, but I always forget to, at least to admit it. And I can't exactly talk about this with my IRL friends or family. They don't really care much about it as I say, they don't care much about what I say to begin with. And most of it is either going to go over their head or they'll just dismiss it altogether. Which is why I'm bringing it up now. Not only because I've done this before with Bo, but also because I know none of my IRL friends watch these videos. They don't watch my videos, and I'm pretty sure neither does any of my family either, and that's a good thing, because they won't mock me for admitting to this stuff, and I don't like that. They're not very emotionally intelligent people, and the thing is with Bo and Squid Shock, I did this to them at one point. See, Bo is a game that got me through some tough times, and no matter what I say, I still love the game. So even if there is a problem that I had in the community, and I just, got upset about it, and I just completely went off the fucking rails, I do admit, I was wrong, and I'm sorry for doing that. I'll probably never be able to move on from this game, and, even though I burn a lot of bridges, I still think about the good times anyway, and they ended because of me. And that's something I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I believe that change is something that I think anyone is capable of. There was a point where I didn't believe that, but as I realized myself, and I've become very self-aware over the past couple days, I realized that, people probably can change. I've hurt a lot of people, and I've also hurt myself in the process, and I just want to say thank you guys for those of you who stuck around. And if you're wondering why I'm bringing this game up again, it's both because I felt bad for what I did, I still feel bad for it, and to this day I am reminded of all the past mistakes I made. So thank you for being here, and if you listen to this, thank you for listening. I know this is random and not my normal vibe, and I'm not really trying to, get your sympathy or anything. It's just something I thought I'd like to talk about, heart to heart. I never really do that on this channel, so yeah, Thank you for being here, and let's get back into the topic at hand. Bo Path of the Teal Lotus is an exceptional game created by Squid Shock Studios, coming out in 2024. Bo will be 2 years old soon in this July, which I personally think is more ceremonial than the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. Like, fuck those coins. No one wants those coins. You know what I want? I want a Bo coin to celebrate it being 2 years old. Can you fucking believe that? But as for its inspiration, Bo draws a lot of inspiration. Now, aesthetically, it's based off of Shinto and Japanese folklore, mostly from the Edo period and also the yokai. I'm pretty sure if you are into yokai like I am, a lot of people I know who are into yokai have read this guy. There's this guy named Matthew Mayer who makes books like The Palace of the Dragon King, The Hour of Meeting Evil Spirits, that sort of stuff. It's a catalog of yokai. Pretty sure that Squid Shock has read this book. I'm pretty sure Moi has as well, and I'm going to get into both of them soon, but it was inspired by both of those things. And gameplay-wise, it was inspired by Hollow Knight, Celeste, and I'm pretty sure Cuphead. There's some bosses in this game that do remind me a lot of Cuphead, just like how they look and how they kind of act with the facial expressions and stuff, but there's a lot of references to modern Japanese culture. Not the, I guess, romanticized version. I don't know how to say it. There's this movie called Paprika that, criticizes modern culture in Japan, which I think is totally fair. It covers a lot of things like how it's basically basically sold its own identity. And Bo doesn't really focus much on the things that Japan has sold its identity over necessarily, like cultural wise, but more so, its true traditional, heart. It's hard to explain. It's very hard to explain without getting into the topic, and I don't want this to be too heavy of a video, unless if you watched that already, so yeah. I think it's very cool, the aesthetic they went for, and there's a lot of things I really like about it, but there is a problem. See, Bo is often compared to other indie games, and usually ridiculed for those other indie games, and there's no other indie game that does it more than Nine Souls fans, specifically Western Nine Souls fans. Nine Souls is a Taiwanese game. It's based off of Chinese folklore and mythology, as well as Taoism. Yeah, Taoism. It's called Taopunk. See, when this comparison is made, I believe it's kind of dishonest and a little bit malicious with how some of the people use it. I think it's very kind of rude, honestly, and very mean-spirited, because a lot of the complaints people have is how similar they are, but to call Chinese culture and Japanese culture similar to the point that you can't tell the distinction is more of a admittance of your own ignorance than anything. Since day one, this game is kind of hated on by that part of the fandom, and especially given how bad the game performed on the first week. Bo was a mess at one point, believe it or not. It couldn't even run on the Xbox, but it's changed since then. However, this game, again, has vastly improved over the years, and, is even getting free DLC, one of which is being out right now, and last time I checked, pretty sure Nine Souls isn't getting much of that free content. Though, again, they have gotten some updates, that's not to say that, and it's still a very good game. Both of them deserve their own cakes, but they're both very different. One being Chinese mythology and, futuristic, while Bo is kind of Edo period Japan with Japanese folklore. Whereas Nine Souls is fast-paced, Sekiro-inspired content, Bo is more like a chill Celeste type of experience. And, again, Bo is still getting a lot of content. While it does have its own issues, as all games do, they're very different, and again, all indie games deserve their cake and their amount of respect. And I really hate it whenever I see other people say, man, this game isn't like such and such. It's just uncalled for. Bo is its own experience, and an experience that I think you should try. The reason I'm bringing it up now, again, is because it's something I hear a lot, and I just think that's ill-willed. The music of Bo Path of the Teal Lotus is absolutely fucking astounding. It was composed by Moi Camarago, who only has 100 subscribers on his channel, which is fucking criminal. Brother makes some angelic music. Go subscribe to him or I'm gonna hold Team Cherry hostage. I swear to God I'm doing it. I'll fucking crazy. You will never get any more Silk Song content if you don't. I swear to God. You go subscribe to Moi right fucking now. You like good music, go subscribe to him. Do it now. He's linked in the description. So is Squid Shock, but we'll get into Squid Shock later. Go subscribe to Moi. He put his ass, his sweat, his blood, more of his ass, and his tears into this fucking game. You know what? Just go do it. Do it now. I swear to God, I'll fly to Australia. He's actually, again, his channel is in the comments. The music in Bo is just absolutely amazing, to say the least. It's actually one of my favorite soundtracks in a game, and it really captures the style that the game is trying to, capitalize on. And I think that it goes really well with just about most of my videos. I just don't use them in the most of them because I think it would get kind of boring hear the same thing over and over again. I feel like at least with dial tone you can kind of repeat it, but it's a special occasion. Very beautiful music. If you want to just chill out, you just want something different to listen to that's really calm, you can listen to his stuff. Except for the boss themes. Those are actually pretty upbeat. Well, a lot like Sekiro's OST. And again, not to, draw comparisons again, but the music does sound a bit like Sekiro, but that's more so not because of them trying to emulate Sekiro, but more so because Sekiro and Bo is based off of the same fucking thing. So, I don't know. The country of Japan is kind of crazy. Just saying. Something else I love in this game is the art style. Whereas a lot of Metroid videos try to stick to a fairly grounded color scheme, Bo decides to say fuck it, we ball, and make every environment in this game absolutely stunning, like straight out of a painting. Like, you got the red bamboo forest, to blue moonlit caves, to a moonlit bridge, and to one of my favorite hubs in gaming, Sakura City, which is getting its own part of the video. Sakura City's fucking amazing. Okay, I love Sakura City. And also, again, every environment is just absolutely stunning. A lot of complaints I hear with games that have, winter environments, snow environments, tundras, that sort of stuff, is that there's not really much to really look at, nothing really interesting, it's kind of like the same color. Whereas Bo kind of does that in a really unique way where it sticks with the icy and, snowy vibe, but it just fits so well. This looks... Well, I mean, not completely. I guess it's, kind of a fantasy of its own, but it looks a little... It's clearly based off... I don't know how to explain it. It's clearly based off an Edo period town. It's very beautiful. I love this. And also with the sunset in the background, it's both for the story, which, again, phenomenal. It's about immortality and stuff, and, the sins of immortality, and what one must lose to gain it, and, the value of life. It's a very deep game, funnily enough. Most people think it's not, but when you actually start, paying attention to the story and the characters, it's very deep, and this environment really symbolizes everything. Anyways, now to describe Sakura City. Fucking love that place. So, if I could describe Sakura City to someone who has never played Bo, it's a little challenging. See, it's effectively this game's Dirtmouth or Firelink Shrine. The city, however, is incredibly alive, bustling, and populated by thousands of Tentai Hana, which is its own thing. It's what you are, it's what most of the characters are in this game, if not yokai. And we will get into Bo himself here in a bit, but Sakura City is just a beautifully designed place, and it's one of the few games that we see a city or hub in its prime. There's even a statue of one of my favorite characters in the game who will also be getting his own, section soon. I really love everything here. It's so vibrant and, again, alive. Even during some of the events in the game where it becomes a lot darker, I will say that you can still tell that it is a city in its prime. I deeply enjoy Bo himself. Bo is a little bastard. If I could describe his personality to you, it's the anger of 1,000 suns put into a frame tinier than a fucking clock. This motherfucker goes to what is practically hell in this game, just because he accidentally wandered in, and then kills the bitch who's running the place, just so that way he can save someone's husband-to-be, only because it was just convenient. Motherfucker gets held by a beautiful woman whenever he wants to go anywhere. His taxi, he is up in that shit. It is... there's only so much I can describe and make it funny at the same time before YouTube takes this video down. Brother is so base that right after he murders God in cold blood, he gets a job working as an actor and a kabuki, which is the same thing. He's a kabuki, which is an actor, for what is basically a raccoon MILF. He gets his own room in the theater, rent-free, and gets to spend his days doing exactly what he was born to do. Beating the actual living shit out of people and playing Halo on the Xbox 360. Not just anyone. Like, he doesn't just beat up anybody. This motherfucker... I'm struggling to read this. Not even read this. I like took notes for myself of things to say for once because I know I'm gonna rant a lot in this video. It's just second nature, I have so much to say, but so he's hired by the Raccoon MILF, and how it works is instead of bringing in those bosses to fight, because obviously a lot of them are dead or, you know, unable to fight, she will just transform into them herself because she's a Tanuki, and Tanuki are like one of the many, like, shape-shifting type of yokai, and Bo beats the shit out of her, so I'm pretty sure there's, like, a weird charge between these two. And again, she has like 7 children, so I'm pretty sure Bo isn't the stepdad, but he is definitely the dad who stepped up. And you know what? That's based. Very good for you, Bo. However, my favorite character in this game is Asahi. I relate a lot to Asahi. He is an absolute dickhead who does nothing and fucking dies. But in the story, he does actually have quite the arc if we don't include the several acts of genocide he commits along the way. And he's got a really interesting backstory. See, he is the son of the Sun Kami Amaterasu. All Tentai Hana are children of the Kami, but Asahi in particular is really close to the Sun Kami. I actually have a theory that if you look like either Bo or Asahi, you're related to one of the two. Because both of them, there's only 2 Kami in this game. There is Amaterasu, and I forget the name of the moon one, but there's the sun and the moon. And they have 2 different clans. The Sun Clan, you know, Amaterasu's clan, runs Sakura City, because all of the people who run it are Sakura Shoguns. And then there's the Yusugai, which is Bo, you know, he's part of that, because they're like the moon, like children of the moon. There's statues of her everywhere throughout the kingdom, or I guess that clan, or that territory. And I'm pretty sure that if you look like either of these two, then you are very close to them, because they're the only ones in the game who looks like that, and they're the only ones in the game that genuinely have confirmed divine intervention. Like, it's hard to explain, but Bo was destined from the start to save the world, and Asahi was destined from the start to keep the secrets of heaven, which is where both of them live, I think. I think there might be 2 different realms. It's not really elaborated. Some of the Yusugai, which are the moon people, end up in the sun realm, but I don't know if that's because they're the same realm or because Asahi fucking shot them. Asahi has a rail cannon, by the way, and it's very confusing. But he's basically the son of the Sun Kami, pretty much the prince of everything. And see, he bound her into a prison to suck her life force to make all of the Tentai Hana immortal. He did this with his brother, the Sakura Shogun Yuhi. There's a lot of Sakura Shoguns. They don't live long because they're all plants. And you see, guess what happens? He starts hearing her voice, like schizophrenia, and then decides to rebel against everything he built, and he becomes the celestial realm king of the sun, pretty much. It's really... I don't know how to explain this, but he also has a railgun. I forgot to mention that. All Tentai Hana come with a gift that it's like an item they can wear, or like an item that does something that can transform into some kind of self-defense. Like, there's a character you meet called Mochi. She has a smoking pipe that turns into a hammer. And Asahi has a key to heaven, which is kind of like the key to the city, which is really symbolic because Sakura City is technically his city, because he's more important than Yuhi on the celestial scale. But that key also turns into a fucking rail cannon, which isn't even a joke. In his boss fight, he chases you, he doesn't chase you, you chase him, but he shoots at you the entire time with a fucking rail cannon. He's one of the very few enemies in the game that does 2 hearts of damage, which is unheard of in Bo. I know if you're a Silksong fan, you're like, oh, I've heard of that before. No, not Asahi. He's fucking built different. Again, this game is receiving a lot of free content DLC, with the first one being Tanuki Kabuki. They have a lot of stuff in store, and you can actually see the foreshadowing in the game. Like, if you run around enough, you'll find like a locked door with a bunch of relics or altars in front of it. You can hear crying behind it, which is obviously a reference to Amaterasu's old legend that Suzuno was such a fucking creepy stalker that she went and cried in a cave. which sounds like I'm paraphrasing it, but that's pretty much bar for bar what happens. There's this mountain that you can find that's like you can see from Megumi Mountain, which is one of the places you go to, and even at the start, if you walk past the shrine where, you know, the statue of the Moon Mother is, there's like another mountain with the same pillar that's coming out of it as the pillar that's in Sakura City, which is like something that's really foreshadowed. And like, my theory is that someone did the exact same thing Asahi did for his mother, where someone who is related to the Yuzugai just decided to put the Moon Mother in a prison, because Bo seems very disconnected from the Moon Mother, you know, the Moon Kami, despite being like directly related to her and also like tied to her. So my theory is that we're gonna get a DLC where Bo gets schizophrenia and he has to go save his mother from evil Sakura City or something, which it's fucking ridiculous. It seems to get content pretty consistently, all things considered. It gets a lot of patches, and it seems like Tanuki Kabuki came out about a year after Bo's release, give or take a few months, and I think we might see something again soon, because it's going to be 2 years soon, and it seems like Squid Shock is doing it once a year, but it also seemed kind of random, so we might get something sooner or later. It really just depends on whatever Chris is doing. He's the main guy for it, but, you know, Moi, if there's something new for Bo, Moi is on fucking business. If he has to write music for like 3 new areas in a DLC that's coming out like this July or something, then I don't know, he's gonna fucking do it. Motherfucker stands on business. You don't shit on Moi. So, shout out to Moi. Again, shout out to Squid Shock as well. You should subscribe to both of them. I could explain a lot of other things I really like, such as the enemy design, the boss designs, area design, aesthetic, mission system, crafting system, or how much I think about Katane giving Asahi head, but I think you should see it for yourself. Not the Katane and Asahi thing. Let them have that in peace. See, I really think you should definitely go check it out. I can't recommend it enough, and in the description you can find the Steam link, you can find Squid Shock's page and Moi's page. Go subscribe to both of them, go show them some love, or Team Cherry's gonna get it. And, you know, just go play Bo. I have it on both my Xbox, my PlayStation, and my Switch. Bo goes on sale pretty often. I got it on sale on my PlayStation for about $13, I think, with the PlayStation points, I'm pretty sure. I don't really remember. It was around there, maybe like $14. So, yeah, go check all of it out. Go play the game. It's as ridiculous as I explain it, and it's such an acid trip of a game, yet at the same time it's such a very chill and fun game, aside from, like, the boss fights being just fucking insane. And Chris, I know you're the one running the Squid Shock account, so I have a message for you before we go. If there's one request I have of you, other than the content, and I'm gonna start doing my best throughout this entire summer to make this game more popular. I promise you that. This is me talking to you directly. I know I haven't talked to you directly in a hot minute, and I'm sorry for what I said, but listen, Chris, please make the Tengu boss fight harder. Make them faster, like their projectiles, like their moves faster, because they are in such a weird position where they come right after what is basically Japanese Satan, and right before Japanese Satan, which is funny, because in some stories they are Japanese Satan, so but all these fights need to be harder, especially the trio. The duo can too, but the trio especially. Like, make them faster. It's fine. You know, just live patch it. That's my one complaint. That's the one thing I want to bring up to you just right now. Please patch that. Not patch that. Buff them. Give them a buff. Make them... They're supposedly skilled warriors, right? Make some of their attacks do like 2 hearts of damage. Pretty sure most people wouldn't mind. Anyway, yeah. Thank you for being here.